If I were moving to Palm Beach today, these are the places I would be looking at. One thing you don't want to do is you do not want to make a mistake. This is a map of Palm Beach County in South Florida. North to south, it's 40 miles. And from Jupiter to Boca Raton, those two places could not be any more different. I wish 19 years ago I had something like this to watch, but today we're going to uncover the pros and the cons of living in all the different areas here in South Florida. I'm going to start way down south here in an area a lot of you might know. It's called Boca Raton, Florida. Always been popular. We were thinking of moving here when we first moved down here 19 years ago. There's one of the best new construction communities is in the city of Boca Raton. Boca Raton itself is very different even from the eastern end to the western end. The western end is still developing, which is where we see the new construction. But the way I'm bringing these places up is if I'll move over to this little Chat GPT window here. These are, if you ask Chat GPT, if you ask Google the top 10 places to live in Palm Beach, here is the list. Number one on their list is Boca Raton. I don't believe it's necessarily the top, but we're going to cover all these today. I'm also going to give you insight from people who have actually moved here before. We are a relocation company and we've helped tons of families move to this area. And I'm going to give you some insight as to who's moving there and why and what. So stick around and buckle up if you're into Palm Beach and you want to know exactly where to live. We just recently did a video, actually, the pros and cons of living in Boca Raton. And we started the video here. At the end of Palmetto Road, there's South Beach Park. Eastern part of Boca Raton is very much, it's very city. It's walkable. It's not as dense as maybe parts of Delray Beach are. It is, but it is a nice place. It's older. It's been around a while. One of the areas that people look, within eastern part of Boca Raton that people frequent is right here. It's called Meisner Park, and let me tell you a little bit about that. Meisner Park is a mecca for outdoor shopping and outdoor restaurants, all high-end stuff. My sense is if you go from where the amphitheater is all the way to the end, it's about a half a mile on both sides. It's one of the staples when it comes to the eastern part of Boca Raton. In general, prices in Boca Raton are going to be higher than the rest of Palm Beach County. If you're buying in Boca Raton, you're going to pay above the median sales price of approximately 640,000, which is the average price in Palm Beach County today. You're going to pay a little bit more, especially if you go east, and especially if you're looking to buy something on or near the water. So what I see people buying in this downtown area are people that are sort of maybe empty nesters. Boca Raton, let me start with this though also. Boca Raton is known for their schools too. It's one of the factors that it's known for is the schools. One of the cons when it comes to moving and living in Boca Raton, and this is what deterred my family, when we moved here, the traffic is insane. If you travel from the east part of Boca Raton to the west part, it takes you about a good, 45 minutes in heavy traffic, in like rush hour traffic. FAU is here. That's Florida Atlantic University. This college is growing by leaps and bounds, primarily because Florida is growing by leaps and bounds, and Boca is as well. And it's very well situated. It's right in the eastern part of Boca Raton. As we move west, which is where we happen to see it living in Palm Beach, Florida, we're seeing more and more people look this area. We've seen people look at Central Boca and basically the area around the Boca Town Center Mall. Boca Town Center Mall is the high end of luxury everything. Rolex, Gucci, Brooks Brothers, any high-end label you will find in there. We did a video a couple weeks back, Melissa and I from our team, and we went in there. I was like, it was like Thursday, 11 o'clock, like not a real high time. And it was like, I was like, there's no recession in this place. Um, it attracts, Boca Raton attracts a higher net worth individual, I feel. Now we're moving a little bit west in middle. So this is like the Boca Town Center Mall is the middle of Boca. So there's a lot more neighborhoods around there. A lot of the neighborhoods were built towards, let's say, 20 years ago, something like that, with the exception of one, which is Lotus, not Lotus Edge, but Lotus Palm. It's a GL Homes community. That's literally right, the only new construction community that has an entrance on the main road through Boca Raton, which is Glades Road. This is, if you want to, everyone seems to know Boca Raton. When we moved down here, again, 19 years ago, we decided not to move to Boca primarily because the cost of living was a bit higher than some of the places up north. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And also that it is pretty crowded, but there's no getting around the elegance of Boca Raton, Florida. As we continue west, I want to go right here. The map is not going to really show this yet. See, there it is. I'm going to really open it up. This is one of the nicest new construction communities in Palm Beach. It's expensive though. I mean, it costs you money compared to everything else, compared to the other parts of Palm Beach. We're going to cover all different price points here. So if your price point is $500,000 or $3 million, we're going to cover it here. This is on the higher end. It's called Lotus Edge. It's got this entrance on Lyons Road. It's just south is Glades Road, which is this road right here, 808 Route 808. No one calls it Route 808 here. It doesn't. If you say go west on Route 808, they're going to look at you like you have three heads. No one knows what that is. But if you say Glades Road, like right there, Glades, you don't know exactly what you mean. The shopping in this area is ridiculously good. Let me tell you a little bit about Lotus Edge and West Boca. So the pricing for Lotus Edge is somewhere between $2 to $3.5 million. So it's one of the more high-end luxury communities, new master plan communities in Palm Beach. The amenities are ridiculous. So people love pickleball. If you are a pickleball player, you want to check this place out. And we get a lot of that, especially lately. They have indoor pickleball. So when the weather's not cooperating, you can go there. When it's in the middle of the afternoon in the summer, when it's hot, you can go there. They have a sport called padel, which is a similar sport to tennis and pickleball that's starting to take hold here in South Florida. We start the trends in this stuff here in South Florida. That's really taking hold. It's similar to pickleball. Look it up. You'll see what I mean. Amenities there are super nice. You've got everything going for it, and you're near like the best shopping literally in the area. You're close to that east mid part of Boca Raton, the Boca Town Center Mall, but you're also near what they call Uptown Boca, which is a new phenomenon in Boca. So there's a lot there. So I'm going to go off Boca, but for now, and go a little bit more north. But this is one of the prime. Lotus Palm is one of the best communities. If you want, don't ever walk to these new construction communities on your own. If you do, you're absolutely crazy. Probably talk more about that later. But let's move a little bit more north now as we go to Palm Beach. One of the good things about Palm Beach is they have a little bit of everything. And I'm gonna skip around a little bit, just depending on where the map takes me. By the way, over here, Clintmore, I'm gonna zoom in. Clintmore and Route 441, which is right about here. It is right here. Route 441 or State Road 7. They've got some nice existing communities there. They have the Oaks. They have the Stonebridge Country Club. If you want to know anything about these communities, you need to let us know. These are communities that have been around, but we know them very well. Down here, Whisper Walk, we know that there. There are a lot of membership communities in this area. But what I was going to tell you, around Clintmore and 441, there's a new construction community. This is probably it right here. Right in that area you see right there. That is called Mera Vida. Mera Vida is a Toll Brothers community. It's a relatively small community. I think it's 70 homes. I don't think, this is me. I give you the pros and cons of everything. I don't think they marketed very well. They've got a behemoth near them called Lotus Edge, and they're competing with that from a price perspective. They didn't open it up to realtors like they should. They try to take the sales for themselves. I haven't even been there yet. So I don't think they marketed it yet, but I will. I'm scheduled to go there in the coming week or two. It is a high-end, smaller community, but it's one that you definitely, if that's your budget, like about $2 million, that's something I would definitely consider. The location is great. Northwest Boca Raton, easy access to go if you want to go into Boca or if you want to go north to like Wellington and places like that. We're going to talk about Wellington a little bit. It's got a great location. But before I go up to Wellington, I want to go stay on that 441 corridor where there's a ton of new construction over the past 10 years, and it continues now, and some new stuff coming up. Coming up like this year. There's a lot of exciting stuff there. But before I go there, I'm gonna go to one of the hottest new 55 plus communities that just literally opened up, started selling by auction because the demand was ridiculously high. We've had a few buyers already not just look at it, but immediately put their bid in and waited a little bit because of the auction, had to wait. But they were successful in buying a land. But let me show you where exactly you can find Valencia Del Mar. So as we move up the 441 corridor, we're going to go into borderline Delray Beach and Boca Raton. By the way, before I go there, there's some nice communities here too. We were active in Saturnia Isles up until recently. Over here, Seven Bridges is a GL Homes community that is a very high end. It's one of the best communities, existing communities. We do existing and new construction here. Some people think we just do new construction. That is not true. We'd love to help you in either way. What's good about us, we're independent of the builders. And if we see a community that's a better fit for you, we're going to tell you. The builder's not going to tell you. But as we head up here, Atlantic Avenue, we're going to talk about Delray in a minute. I'm going to go there after I do Delray, Valencia Del Mar. Atlantic Avenue is the main thoroughfare through Delray. There's everything there to do, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But Lyons Road is this corridor. There is a ton of new construction. A lot of this stuff is not showing up because this map is a little bit old. It looks like farms, and it's really not. But all this stuff, this is where you're finding Valencia Del Mar, and just to the north of it is Valencia Grand, and then also the canyons. Let me talk about all those places right now. If you ever see a community called Valencia this, Valencia that, it's usually not usually, it is always a Valencia, is a GL Homes 55 plus community. Along that corridor I was speaking of, there's a lot of them there. Valencia Reserve, Valencia K. Valencia K is actually in Riverland, but there's a lot of Valencias in there. The one they're working on now is Valencia Del Mar, which for a 55 plus community is it's sort of Boynton Beach. It's got a Boynton Beach address, but it's very close to Delray. It's got a ton of amenities, a lot of stuff to do there. I mean, it's like you're living 7 Saturdays a week in that community. Just to the north of there, just closing out now, is called Valencia Grand. They sold out already so much of Valencia Mar because when they were selling Valencia Grand, they were able to sell Valencia Del Mar from Grand, so they had a big head start. Valencia Del Mar is about 500 homes. It's not a small community, and they're already selling vigorously right now. Some people say, well, the housing market's slowing down. It is in some places, but there are some communities that there are such good deals. When you see a new construction community open up, and reach out to us if you want to get on our list and follow us on a Palm Beach Tale, our newsletter that goes out every week. Reach out and we'll send it to you. But we cover these places, and when you get in early in these communities, you save a lot of money. Valencia Grand, a little bit bigger than Valencia Del Mar, both high quality. Every time they put out a new clubhouse amenities, it gets better and better. The Valencia Del Mar is going to be the best when it comes to their community, their amenities. Just north of that is the canyons. This is going back about 10 years. There was lots of it's canyons, this canyons, that, all age communities. A lot of stuff there too. If you want to look at a good existing, well-built homes in that area, we'd love to help you. It's in one of the hottest areas of Boynton Beach, Florida. Now let's go to what I was starting to talk about earlier. Let's talk about what there is to do in Delray Beach, Florida. All right, I'm on the map. I'm going to find our favorite road, one of our favorite roads, Atlantic Avenue. This is Atlantic Avenue right here, 806. I hate when they call it this. It's better. These roads are not really known by their routes, except for Route 441 State Road 7, because there's no name for it. Um, but they're known by Atlantic Avenue. If you live in Boca or Delray, but in Delray, that's the main road through Delray Beach. It is, people will call it the Avenue. This is a pretty busy, as you can tell, a pretty busy intersection. Route 95, which goes all the way north to south in Florida and up through the eastern part of the United States. This is a big intersection for it. And pretty much everything east here is what we call downtown Delray Beach. If you look at the like there's deck 84 is a restaurant there. If you look at this, if you look on this bridge and just look over the bridge and look at the intercoastal, it's beautiful. They do like yacht tour, not yacht, yeah, like yacht tours, whatever you want to call it. These big cruises through here, day cruises. The Lady Del Rey is there. There's a couple other names for the boats they have there. Great way to to get to know the area. Beautiful. You oversee all these homes along the intercoastal here. If you want a home that's off the intercoastal and you're a boater and you want to, some of these, you can see some of these slips here. They have the Seagate Yacht Club. You can buy a house in this neighborhood and belong to and get a slip. Something people do. The City Marina. There's a lot. There's a lot. But especially if you go up to Jupiter in that area, we're going to cover that. That for fishing and boating, that's one of the best areas in Palm Beach. Stick around for that. There's just a lot to do in Delray. One of the best beaches on the East Coast on the East Coast of the United States. This public beach. I mean, you can even see all the people there now at this particular case. And this, I don't know what day of the week Google took this, but you can see there's there. You can rent umbrellas from them. There's some kind of service. They honor it in all the different beaches along West Palm Beach all the way up to down here to Boca Raton, to Delray Beach. They do the same thing in Boca on that South Beach beach down there near Palmetto in Boca Raton. But this is a very walkable area. Delray Beach is good schools. Boca is one of the best schools. I meant to talk about schools. I have 3 kids. I've seen the whole gamut of elementary, middle, and high school, private schools. I know all about these things. Reach out to us if you want some guidance on some of this stuff. But East Delray is going to be more existing stuff. Homes along Delray Beach or on the ocean, you're looking at $50 million. It's a lot. We'll help you with that, of course, but it's not typical for Delray, if you know what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff is good. The people who buy here, and I gotta go into some of this stuff. The people who buy here, generally speaking, are like empty nesters that want to be able to have a good social life and just walk out and go right out to Atlantic Avenue and go to restaurants and all that. Great nightlife in Delray. So with that, I want to go a little bit more north. In terms of like things to do, I'm gonna take it to Central Palm Beach, another good downtown area, but definitely a major different characteristic is Lake Worth Beach. Of the places in Palm Beach that have piers jetting out into the ocean, Lake Worth is one of them. The other one that comes to mind is Juno Beach. We'll talk about that later too. Um, Lake Worth is got Lake Worth Beach, which is the part that's right near the ocean, and you got Western Lake Worth, which is we see a lot of new construction. We do a lot of more families move there today than in the eastern part. Eastern part, you need to be a little bit careful about where you move. You need it definitely. If you don't use us, use somebody. You need a realtor to navigate what to do. Melissa on our team lives there, and she knows these communities really well. And she has very investable. She's invested in lots of Airbnbs and rentals and out there, and she's done a great job in building her empire out there. And she knows this area well. But downtown Lake Worth is, I'll show you where it is in a second, is a pretty active, it's nice. You get the Lake Worth play out. And let me show you on the map what it looks like. So I'm still stuck in Delray here and I'm going north. I passed over Boynton Beach. We're gonna get there we'll go there in a minute. I didn't really talk this. Delray Beach doesn't have the best beach, in my opinion. Boynton Beach people don't kill me, but you have better beaches in Delray Beach, better beaches on Palm Beach Island. Anyways, here's one of the nice things about Boynton Beach is Two Georges, a great restaurant off the intercoastal there. And we're going to continue north. Manalapan is very high end. I'm going there now. I'm showing you now. Really high end. It's sort of like Palm Beach Island type of stuff. Super nice. Small town of Hypoluxo. It's got, if you blink your eye, you'll miss it. It's pretty much that one little square mile in there. Lantana, Lantana is a nice little fishing village. One of the nice restaurants there is Old Key Lime Pie. These are all older areas. When I say older, probably about 20, 30, 40 years old. Nothing new in there. But here you go, Lake Worth Beach, Lake Worth Beach Park. As I zoom it out, you could see the pier jetting out. There are a lot of condos up here too. And there's spas and all that. There's golf all around these communities. And Boynton Beach is a lot of golf too. There's a ton of golf in this area. If you're a golfer, you're gonna love this. Benny's on the Beach is a restaurant right on the pier. It's a staple of Lake Worth. It's amazing. Over here is, you don't know how you can see it, is the Lake Worth Casino. It's the only casino you're guaranteed not to lose money because there's no gambling in the casino. It's more of like a place to do weddings and host events. But this is Lake Worth. And to go across the intercoastal, you come here to downtown. This is where downtown lays. It's on Lake Avenue and Lucerne on basically the two main streets through it. Paradiso, I love that restaurant. There's a lot of nice right in this area here. If you want to buy an investment property, speak to us. We covered it in that video, the pros and cons of living in Lake Worth. We cover all the investability of this area, which is a lot. I think it's one of the gems when it comes to. Let me go off camera. I'll tell you a little bit about this. It's one of the gems Lake Worth is in terms of buying a home, investing, and all that kind of stuff, and creating Airbnbs. You need to look at the regulations on Airbnbs. HOAs, we have a lot of HOAs. You got to be very careful of that. But we have seen more people, families, move to Western Lake Worth, and there's some good schools in Lake Worth, Boynton Beach area. La Park Vista is a good one, a public school. We get people that will ask us, I want this school. What homes that I buy will be districted for this school? If that's you and you want, whether it's that school or another, you want us to find the homes that are districted for a particular school, you let us know. We can help you with that. We'll set you up on that kind of search. Western Lake Worth is where a lot more newer stuff is coming around. There is a lot. I'm going to go there now. There is a lot of new stuff in that area, that 441 corridor, and I'm going to go show you that right now. So I'm going west along Lake Avenue, which eventually turns to the main road through Lake Worth, which is Lake Worth Road. Again, 802. No one knows it as Route 802. Locals know it as Lake Worth Road. The Lake Worth corridor is right here. This is one of the new construction communities I want to tell you about. I just did a video on this one. I'd say if you want new construction in the Wellington area, and I'm going to Wellington after, um, this is the community for you. It's on the borderline of Lake Worth and Wellington. It's a Devasta, which is a Pulte home community. It's not a big community, but it's selling fast because people are dying. Lake Worth, Wellington is known for their schools. They're very high-rated schools. If people like schools, lots of times they'll say, "Ray, I want to be in Wellington." So that's why this is selling well because it's right adjacent to. This is the borderline right here of Lake Worth and Wellington. This is Wellington. What if you see this area right here? That's the Versailles Clubhouse, and that's in Wellington. This right here is Lake Worth, like right here, like just north of the Lake Worth Road. So it's a little bit different. Here is a country club called Wycliffe. It's a membership community. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about this, but beware of new name of membership communities. They sometimes come with steep initiation fees, and they come with large golfing fees and social fees. If that's you, and again, I've got someone who just recently bought up in Port St. Lucie in exactly a community like this. It might be for you, but if you're a family that doesn't golf that much, it's not for you. It's just for avid golfers, which we help a lot of those. So Hendricks Reserve is number one community in terms of what I was talking about. Just south is a community called Greyhawk Landing, which is, it might not be labeled here yet, but it's right about here, right in this area. Another DeBosta. So Hendrick Reserve, the next step up price-wise and quality-wise is going to be Greyhawk Landing. We did a video on that one as well. And just over here in this area, this is like the Boynton Beach area. There's a community called Amara. That's another DeBosta community. And there's a community called Kenmore Estates, which they're working on. They're basically in the stages of just clearing the land. If you're lucky, they'll be here at the end of this year, probably next year. Up north, there's another, I can't think of the name, it'll come to me, another Lennar community. It's called Whitmore Estates. Whitmore Estates is a Lennar community. It's not going to be your typical Lennar community. They have like a luxury brand, a luxury line that they're going to be using there. It's going to be next to Amara, which is going to start over $1 million. I think it's starting $1.5 million. High end, big pieces of property. If you want property, speak to me. A lot of people are disappointed that that a lot of Florida comes on smaller lots. True. You can buy places with bigger pieces of property. You need to pay for it though. That's just it. You're definitely not going to get a big piece of property on the beach unless you have, $20 million plus. You're not going to get it. But there are places, and like in Jupiter comes to mind. Bridgewater is and what they have their reserve up there, which they have 5 acre lots up there. You can get it up there, but now you're talking 3, 4, 5, $7 million. But this Amara is coming, and it's not going to be quite that pricey. It's going to be nice, and if you want land, this is something you should stick around. We're going to cover it here on Living in Palm Beach. All right, I'm going to go right to Wellington. So I covered a lot of this stuff. There's a Cantor is a new Wellington community coming up later, like next year, end of this year, next year. It's on Forest Hill Boulevard, which is this road here, this 882, which no one knows it as. That's really Forest Hill Boulevard. There's way back there is a community called Cantor. That's what DeVos has going there. If you want Wellington existing homes, that's where most of the homes you're going to find. You're going to be looking at, my favorites are right in here. Where are you? Versailles at Wellington, right here. The Isles at Wellington, right there. Oakmont is right about here. These are the best. Oh, and the biggest community is really nice too, I feel. This big community is called Olympia, which is approximately 1,700 homes. Everything in Wellington centers around the Wellington Green Mall. This road is, people know it, Ring Road. I've had people out of the area that know about Ring Road for whatever reason, which is sort of nice. Um, Wellington is a patriotic place as well. You will find flags all over the place in Wellington. Wellington Green Mall, they'll hang one down. They have the Veterans Memorial. They have the Patriot Memorial, which is the 9/11, September 11th memorial. People go there on September 11th every year, and it's a tribute to people that perished and people risked their lives for to defend our country. So that's something that Wellington has. So they're very patriotic. The Veterans Memorial flags all over the place. They talk about they have statues of all the wars that our country, the United States, have been in, up to the War on Terror, going all the way back to the Civil War, and they have everything in between. World War One, World War Two, Vietnam, everything. So the other thing I want to say about Wellington, it is the winter equestrian capital of the world. A lot of people with horses um, live there, want to live there. There's they have the Polo Hall of Fame. The only one in the world is in Wellington, Florida. Our office is in Wellington, Florida, just so you know. That's why I'm pointing like this. And if you're into horses, if you're into riding horses and the sport of polo, it's Wellington's the place to look at. In the months of January through April, they have polo matches throughout the whole season. The prices to rent, not that we do a ton of rentals, we do mainly purchases, but we do some rentals. Prices to rent any home in Wellington go up like 3 to 4 times. So I get people that are looking at a home for like $4,000 in the summertime. I want that for the winter. It's going to be $15,000 now. That's the way it is a month. That's just sort of the way it works. Anyways, that's what Wellington's all about. Just north of there is Royal Palm Beach. As I go back to our top 10 places to live as per ChatGPT, as per the internet, you can see we've covered a lot of these already. Boca, Delray, Wellington. We're going to get to Palm Beach Gardens. Jupiter, we're going to get to. West Palm Beach, we're going to get to. We did Lake Worth. We did Boynton. We're going to talk about Palm Beach Island. Royal Palm Beach. We're going to go to Royal Palm Beach now. It is they put it here. What's great about it? It's ideal for first-time home buyers. They're right about that. Families, they're right about that. Safe, suburban feel, and it's got a lot of shopping. Let me show you what I mean. So as we go to the map, back to the map here, up here is this whole area is Royal Palm Beach. I'm going 441, and it's all back here. Here it's labeled here, but even this area along Route 7 here, State Road 7 or Route 441, there's a ton of shopping. There's everything here. Do you like Costco? Because I do. They have it there in Royal Palm Beach. The local Costco is in Royal Palm Beach. It's right along Route 704, which it's not called Route 704. It really is Southern Boulevard. This is the best road to go east to west in the Route 98. I'm sorry. It is the best road to go east and west in all of Palm Beach. And it goes through Royal Palm Beach as well. And you have your Costco right in here. So there's a lot of good stuff. It's definitely very affordable compared to the rest of Palm Beach. I'm gonna take you out west to this area called 20 Mile Bend. And I'll give you a guess as to why it's called 20 Mile Bend. Answer: it's 20 miles from the ocean. Right near here is Arden. And they still haven't really updated the map on this really too much. It's actually more developed than this. We've sold a ton of homes in Arden. And the amenities are just absolutely killer, as you can see. If you want to live on a gigantic lake in Florida, Hook, Line, Circle, that's this. You can tell I know this community well. Hook, Line, Circle. You can actually put a boat into the lake. Great fishing in there. This lake here is one of the biggest natural lakes in Florida, in this area of Florida. Some of the builders in there include GL Homes was once in there. They have some of the nicest homes there. Lennar is still selling, and they're almost done. They're getting to the end. They have less than 100 single family homes there and some twin homes. If you want to get in a very like amenity rich, low HOA community, which this community is, reach out to us at Living in Palm Beach. We know this community well. We've sold a ton in here. Great clubhouse. The pool is nuts. The pool is one of the not that I mean that doesn't do it justice on the map, but they're building a second amenity center up here in this area, which they're not even showing on the map. So that's that. I'm going to move on from there to a city called Westlake, which is right here. So Westlake to Arden is like a 15-minute ride. We've taken a lot of people to both those communities. They compete with each other, at least they did. Westlake is still selling. Westlake is about 4,000 homes, and let me tell you, actually more now. I'm hearing the numbers going up in terms of what they expect. I think 45, maybe more now even. But let me tell you about not America's, but Florida's newest city. That is how they market it. They used to, when they first opened Westlake up before the pandemic, it started with like in 2018, 2016, I believe was the year the builder Minto bought the property out there. The plan was originally for 4,000 homes. Minto did sell part of their land to Coulter, a great builder, to do Crestwind, which is one of the best values in terms of 55 plus communities, in my opinion, and also of the people that we've helped. We've helped a lot of people move into there. The models, the quality of the build of the homes is strong. If you're looking for a 55 plus, that's a good community. It's around 800 or 900 homes in the center of Westlake. All age community is divided up by Minto. They did the hammocks at first, and they have the groves. They're selling the pines now and the woodlands, which is the upper end of the two. I love the Woodlands. It's a great community. Just we had someone who just bought in there last year that she loves the house that she bought. That's a Cuesta Grand. They've got some good models. One thing about Minto and Westlake, if you don't know what your model is, look at that shiny head I have there. If you don't know what your model is, you can make fun of me. It's okay. It's allowed. You can leave a comment and make fun of me. If you don't know what your model is or what you want, they'll have it for you. Minto has 44 models. At one point, it was the fastest growing area in Palm Beach. It probably has taken a backseat to Avenir, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But it is very affordable. In single family home, you can buy in there in the five, six, and sevens. They go up to over $1 million. So it's nice to buy your house for 700,000, 800,000 to know you have neighbors that are worth 1.1 million. They have townhomes in there called the terraces, which you can get in there around 400 all in, which is ridiculous for this area. So that's new construction. We are a new home called broker. I haven't mentioned that yet. And we're with EXP Luxury Homes. I should have mentioned that. So help us out. Listen, if you want, we've put, if you're thinking about moving to this area, reach out. But really, the best way to connect with us is that as a Zoom call. In the description and the comment section, there's a link. Click on that link. Set up a Zoom call. We'll go through all this stuff with you. If you're thinking about Palm Beach or even as far north as Port St. Lucie, there's some great stuff up there that we've been doing a lot up there. Use someone work with someone that does this. There's no cost out of your pocket when going to these new construction communities. It's the builder that pays us. Anyways, continuing on Westlake, there were like all kinds of lotteries and all come way back when. It is still pretty hard to get into Westlake, at the right price. We can help guide you when it comes to Westlake and everything in Palm Beach. But now let's look at the number one selling community for us and for like everybody really, literally in Palm Beach in the community, which is Avenir in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. All right, so going north, Avenir. All the new construction is generally going to be west. That's just there's no more land east. That's why this stuff has been sold out for decades, land wise. And you notice there's no big pieces of land in these areas, right? They just don't do that. There's not much. So here's Avenir on the map. It happens to be focused on La Abiance because I just sold a house in there. Um, we just went to contract in there, and we have and we do a lot. We've sold in every single Avenir community. All right, whether it's Watermark, Solana Bay, Apex, Coral Isles, we've done it all in there. Um, we can help guide you if you're looking at this. If you're a golfer, this is a terrific, terrific community. Sand Hill Crane Golf Club is right here. It is a public course, very well known for it. Um, Esprit is a 55 plus community going to be opening in another month or so. When you see this video, if it's not open, reach out. You want to get in on new construction early, this is how you do it. Get in early, contact us. We'll get you in early. We know this builder well. Continuing on golf, Panther National, high-end custom homes starting around 4.5 million. Not all of Avenir's like that. You can get into Avenir for about $1 million. You can get in there under $1 million right now too. Don't know how long that's going to last though. But right now you can. Panther National is they're building. They've built and continue to build on the Jack Nicklaus course. You can see some of it built here. It's a Jack Nicklaus signature course, and it's going to approximately. I think it's 207. Approximately 200 homes are being built in there. Um, you have your own private little airport here. If you want to fly from Panther National to Key West to the Hamptons, that's how you do it. It's not a public airport, but it's made for people who have the money to have a private jet. And that's why one of the reasons why I love this whole community. The biggest community in Avenir is Apex at Avenir. Builder is Geo Homes. Let me tell you a little bit about Avenir. When all is said and done, it's going to be almost 4,000 homes divided into all those different sections. The town center is going to be crazy. That's getting ready to open up just in a few months. And so even though it's a little bit west, there's going to be a lot of stuff to do in that area. They're opening up Coconut Boulevard to Beeline. So if you want to get into the downtown Palm Beach Gardens, they got you covered because that's going to make it easier to get to one of the nicest malls in all of Florida, which is Gardens Mall. Like the Boca Town Center Mall, all the high-end labels are there. Downtown at the Gardens is there. Palm Beach Gardens is probably our number one asked about areas in Palm Beach. And Avenir is just the best way in right now. We've sold more homes in Avenir than anybody. We take a lot of people to Apex because it's the biggest community. It's 562 homes. I know the amounts of both these communities. That's because I know it well. Next to it is La Abiance, is 144 homes. If you're a bigger family, you go to Apex. If you're a smaller family, if we're empty nester, which we see a lot of, or a snowbird. We help snowbirds too, guys. People that just want to winter here, that buy a home and maybe rent it out other part of the year, whatever. But the more the snowbirds will go to the La Abiance community, smaller homes. No home there is bigger than 3,000 square feet under air. At Apex, you have homes that go up to over 5,000. Custom Builders, WL, which is affiliated with the developer Landstar that bought the area out originally. They're coming up with 3 new communities. If you want to learn about and you want to get in early on any of these things, you reach out now. And now is the time to get a good deal when it comes to Avenir and Palm Beach Gardens. All right, maybe one of the most picturesque places in Palm Beach is Jupiter. Let's go to Jupiter, Florida. Taking my airplane from the North Palm Beach County Airport. Kidding, but right here is Juno Beach is just south of Jupiter Beach. You can see, I'm going to see if I can find it here. Juno Beach has the other pier that comes off there you go, that comes off into the ocean. You can see that too. That's like 100 feet out into the ocean. I think it's 90 something feet into the ocean. Jimmy Buffett Highway. Jimmy Buffett Memorial Highway's out there. A lot of nice condos in this area in Juno Beach. Just north of it is Jupiter Beach. And these are probably in my opinion, again, my opinion, two of the nicest beaches in Palm Beach and on the east coast of the United States, Jupiter and Juno Beach. If you're into water sports, there is nothing better. I always see people surfing in these areas, especially near Juno Beach. Jupiter, you could see in here, you've got the Jupiter Inlet is right in here. If you get up early in the morning and you go for sunrise, which I love to do, that little pier there, that fishing pier, obviously this is taken later, so there's no one fishing there, but you'll see tons of people fishing there. This is the lighthouse. It's right in here, which is sort of like the landmark. Here we go. It's sort of like the landmark of Palm Beach. A lot of nice restaurants over here. Square Grouper. Um, Guananabas is a great restaurant near. There you go. There's my Guananabas. Real nice. Love Street is over here. There you go. Love Street. Jetties is in here. Great restaurants. If you're a boater, this is the best place to live in Florida. I was just saying Palm Beach, but really in Florida. As you can see, these people who live here, some of them in the lot all off the Loxahatchee River, have their home, and they have their own private little pier, and they dock their boat. How cool is that? Jupiter is going to cost you a little bit of money. It is going to be higher than the average of the $650,000 it costs to buy a home here in Palm Beach on average, single family home, that is. It's one of the most picturesque places in Florida. It really is. And it's still pretty rural, to be honest with you. It's not really like crowded like Boca Raton. There's a huge difference between Jupiter and Boca Raton in terms of like the crowdedness and they're both expensive on the expensive side compared to the rest of the county. But in terms of Jupiter is much more rural. They have some nice stuff in there too. They're building up Jupiter pretty quickly. Lots of good existing homes in there. If you want to buy a home off the intercoastal, let us know. We can search that for you. We're really good at that. Out west, there's a community that's closing down. We had a video right there on the models in Bridgewater, Jupiter. You can get still today there's a couple left, 5-acre lots in a premier new construction community. There are some existing homes in there, and I think it might be one or two left on their smaller 1 to 1.5 acre properties. But Bridgewater is a great one. Jupiter is a place that a lot of people know, and it's so much different than the rest of Palm Beach. But one thing I'll say, don't make a mistake. You know, if you want to have searches on any of these places, or just give us some parameters, we would love to help you. We work with people from all across the world coming to this area we call Palm Beach. We do stuff north of Palm Beach too, and even south. Port St. Lucie, we've done a ton of business. I'll have to do a community by community comparison on that. That's a good idea. I just thought of that now. Keep an eye out for the best communities of Port St. Lucie. But if you're looking at any of these areas, reach out to us at Living in Palm Beach. It would be an honor to help you discover what South Florida is all about. Boca Raton, Wellington, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm Beach, paradise here in South Florida.